Hello, everybody. Welcome to the festive tech calendar and the 2nd of December. My name is Amanda Sterner, and I will guide you through a bit of prompting today. I hope that you're as excited as I am. But don't forget that we're all doing this for a good cause. At the Festive Tech Calendar, you can not just only find the agenda filled with lovely, fun, exciting things happening all throughout December, you can also find the link to this year's charity. And this year it's Beats on Cancer Charity. If you go to the Just Giving page, there's a possibility for you to donate money. And any large or big donation do matter. And I promise you, when you're seeing this recording, you will see my name here as well. But now let's dive into the topic of today: how Santa's little helper can become a better prompter when he's using Microsoft 365 Copilot. I already introduced myself, but one more time, my name is Amanda Stanner. I'm a Microsoft MVP within Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot. And I enjoy everything you can do with the help of Copilot and Microsoft 365 to make sure that you have a better day. And you will see me in various formats. I write on LinkedIn, I have a blog, I talk at conferences, I have a podcast in Swedish. And if you follow that link, aka.ms/amandatory, you will go to my LinkedIn profile where you will find more information. But enough about me. Let's dive into 5 tips on how you can become a better prompter. Tip number 1: use prompt ingredients. And there are many different kinds of ingredients to make many different kinds of cookies and cakes. And I'm going to show you one of my prompt ingredients that Microsoft also enjoys talking about. So let's move over to Microsoft's website. You will find this prompt model in different places if you Google goal context expectation source. But I enjoy using the official Microsoft material, and here are one of those pages. So, what are the different ingredients in this recipe? Well, first we have the goal, and with the goal mean, what do you want Copilot to give you? What do you want Copilot to produce? So, for example, my goal is that I want a bullet list with 3 to 5 different bullets. The next ingredient is the context. So, why do I need it and who is involved? For example, well, I need this bullet list to prepare for an upcoming client meeting. It's focusing on their current state and what they are looking to achieve. So, first the goal, then the context. And then the next ingredient is your expectation. So, how do you want Copilot to respond? How will you make sure that what Copilot is giving you is something that will make you pleased? So, in this example, I want you to respond with a tone that is friendly but authoritative. Very firm. I like that. And our last ingredient is the source. So, where do we want Copilot to focus? Even though sometimes we think that Copilot can solve world peace, Copilot is just a probability machine, and we need to give Copilot the hints to make us happy. So, to add the source, such as focus on my emails and team chats since June or July with these 2 people, we will make sure that the result is much better. Compare it if you ask Copilot to help me prepare me for my next meeting, compared to, hey Copilot, I need 3 to 5 bullet lists because I'm meeting up with Santa and we're going to talk about all the different trending Christmas presents that all the children is going to get next year. So I wanted you to help me prepare me for my meeting with Santa so I can give the best possible suggestions. And I want you to be very thorough, but yet friendly and joyful because you know the holidays are joyful. And I want you to focus on actually my interactions with Santa in both emails, files, and chats all this year. Because I'm assuming that me and Santa we're talking a bit, but not that much when we're having our big holiday. So giving a simple prompt will give you an answer, but using different ingredients will make sure that the output is much better. Let's dive into the second tip on how you can become a better prompter, and that is to play pretend. One of my favorite things to do when I'm talking to Copilot is I'm asking Copilot to pretend to be a person. It could be I want Copilot to pretend to be an angry customer or a project manager or a CTO at a big tech company. Giving Copilot instructions to behave in different roles will make it easier for Copilot to review the output and my material from that specific eyes. I actually seen a lot of peers in the community that asks Copilot to review material in like five different kinds of roles, such as I want you to remove this when you're pretending to be a teacher, a CTO, a children, or a consultant. So if we give Copilot a specific role, it will be much easier for us to be pleased with our result. So if you remember when I'm planning my meeting with Santa where we're talking about the gifts for next year, maybe I'm gonna ask Copilot to pretend to be Santa, reviewing my ideas list before I present it to Santa. I think that will make sure that the output is much, much better. My third tip will be accompanied by this lovely Christmassy man, William Shakespeare. And it's all about when you are talking to Copilot, it is a dialogue, it isn't a monologue. And that is very important to remember because when you are asking about something, it is very rarely that you will be pleased with the first result. When you're talking to Copilot, you have to iterate, iterate, iterate. You have to ask Copilot to change things. You have to ask Copilot to refine things. As I told you, Copilot cannot read your mind. So you cannot be disappointed or angry when you had an idea in your head and Copilot didn't achieve it. So really keep your mind on it's a dialogue, not a monologue. We are talking, we are two friends having a talk back and forth to make sure that the output is as you want it. And when you combine all of the different tips that I will tell you about today with this, with the ingredients and asking to be a person, and I'm not spoiling the two new things coming, it will just get much, much better. Maybe you should ask Copilot to pretend to be Shakespeare, though. My fourth tip on how to become a better prompter is to always think about the next steps when you're using Copilot. So every time you are asking Copilot anything, think about the next steps, think about what's the purpose of this prompt and can you give Copilot a bigger job from the beginning? For example, when you're using Copilot inside Teams meetings and generating meeting notes, what's the purpose of those meeting notes? Is the meeting notes just because I want meeting notes? Or do I actually want to be able to send those meeting notes in a follow up email to the customer where we have both what we talked about, we also have tasks with different clear assigned people. So always think about the next step of what you want to do with Copilot. And when you know the next step, you can start thinking about how you are going to break those different steps up in your prompt. Like I said a couple of times before, Copilot really isn't a human. Copilot cannot think. The easier you make it for Copilot, it's a much bigger chance that you get pleased. So break up your large job to Copilot into smaller tasks, make them very clear, very specific, and I promise you that Copilot will be happy and give you a much better answer that you need less of a dialogue to come forward with. And maybe my last tip is just gonna make you think, well, Amanda, none of your tips doesn't even matter, but I just want to say this as something that I find very, very important, and that is a bad prompt is better than no prompt. In the world full of prompt engineers and over engined prompts, sometimes it is okay with a bad prompt because a bad prompt is so much better than no prompt. And the most important part is just to get started, try different use cases, explore, and then you can add these different parts as the ingredients, pretend to be a person, to think in next steps, etc. We just want to use Copilot, get it as a natural habit during our days, and then a magical world of possibilities will open. And I promise you that Santa's little helper will have the best possible presents list to present for Santa. A presents list that's a combination of their own fantasy, imagination, and being tweaked into a little bit better and something that Santa's going to say yes to with the help of Copilot. And with that said, I really hope that you learned something new and that you have a few new ideas on how you can continue to exploring being a better prompter. I wish you all a very happy holiday. Please make sure to go into the festive tech calendar and have a look at all of the lovely sessions all the way to Christmas. It's the second today. There are a lot of beautiful, lovely content in the whole world of Microsoft. Be sure to check out the charity page. Be sure to check out my LinkedIn page and follow me if you want to hear more about how Copilot, Microsoft 365, and Teams can give you a more pleasant workday. Happy holidays!